attack can strike anywhere, anytime. Be prepared with quick-acting Primatene Mist. Clinically proven to open airways quickly. It's the #1 FDA-approved asthma inhaler available over the counter. Primatene Mist. Breathe easy again. Use as directed.
Today on Hey Culligan's Smart Home, Smarter Water Softener. Here's Kevin.
Hey Culligan, can a smart water softener lift those heavy salt bags for me?
Kevin, it can.
Wait, it can?
Yep, the smart high-efficiency water softener from Culligan can alert your dealer when the salt needs to be replaced, and they'll do it for you, so your water stays soft and you stay away from lifting the bags.
I mean, I could lift them if I wanted.
No judgment here, Kevin. We're happy to do it, and we're already on the way. Let us help you out with a free in-home water test with the local Culligan water expert at Culligan.com.
Celebrate the history of our national pastime at the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown. See priceless treasures that'll bring your baseball memories to life. Connect with events that have shaped and changed the game and our country. Our stories to tell, your memories to share. Plan your visit today at baseballhall.org.
It's a Bill King Show.
Lake Norman Buckeye. Bill, will Saban actually coach that 24 quarterback? At some point, he's got to hang it up. Nothing lasts forever. I want to repeat, Nick Saban is doing his favorite thing right now. He's not trying to get to a moment in life to where he can go sit on the beach.
Weekday mornings beginning at 6 on Sports Radio 560 on 95.9 FM. 560 AM, 95.9 FM, Brentwood, Nashville, 107.9 FM, Smyrna, Nashville's first 24-hour sports station. WNSR, Nashville Sports Radio.
ABC News, I'm Phil Lipoff. The Carter Center has released a statement sharing that former First Lady Rosalind Carter has been diagnosed with dementia. The statement goes on to say the 95-year-old has been a leading mental health advocate. ABC's Steve Osunsami with more.
Long before we were openly talking about mental health in the way that we do today, she was leading the charge to treat mental health and to talk about mental health as if we would talk about any other human illness.
The Carter family says Rosalind continues to live happily at home with her husband. In Iowa, demolition of the partially collapsed apartment complex is now on hold. Officials say at least 5 are unaccounted for. 2 may be in the building. 9 people have been rescued since the collapse. Authorities still don't know the exact cause. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy is working to get enough votes to pass the debt ceiling bill and avoid the U.S. defaulting on its loans June 5th. This is ABC News.
I'm Howard Mackler, founder of Innovation Refunds. You've heard me talking about the payroll tax refund for months. If you own a business, even if you've asked your CPA about this, you owe it to yourself to take another look. We provide a licensed and insured tax attorney who evaluates your company at my expense to determine eligibility. Businesses of all types can qualify, so go to getrefunds.com to potentially get a payroll tax refund of up to $26,000 per employee. Download the Innovation Refunds app or go to getrefunds.com, getrefunds.com.
Attorney Joe Cordell. Divorce forces a father to focus on what's most important, his children. You may no longer be a husband, but you'll always be a dad. In the divorce process, this comes down to 3 key concerns: physical custody, decision-making, as well as financial support. Each of these is important, and it's important that you choose a lawyer that cares as much about these issues as you do.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Nashville area attorneys. 810 Crescent Center Drive, Suite 160, Franklin, Tennessee, 37067. CordellCordell.com.
WNSR, Nashville Sports Radio.
Breaking news.
Tax refund shock is everywhere, but what is it?
My tax refund shrank.
Mine too. The culprit? Pandemic-related stimulus payments and tax credits expiring. In this reporter's opinion, you need a tax expert.
Hey guys, Jackson Hewitt guarantees your biggest refund.
And tax prep is 50% off? Going there now.
50% off is a limited time offer for new clients filing at participating locations. Max value $200. Visit jacksonhewitt.com/50 for terms.
Today on Hey Culligan, how smart is your water? Here's Tracy.
Hey Culligan, I think my water might be dumb.
Good news, Tracy. Your water's not dumb. It's just not talking to you.
You can make my water talk.
No, but the new Culligan Smart Drinking Water System can talk to your phone to tell you when your water filters need changing and help you meet drinking water goals.
Now that's some brilliant H2O.
You said it, Tracy, and we're already on the way. Let us help you out with a free in-home water test with the local Culligan water expert at Culligan.com.
Listen, you can't handle the truth. It's about to go off. Live from the WNSR Strike and Spare Studios.
Just a bit outside.
It's the Mcfarlands Show with Darren McFarland and Fox 17's Justin McFarland.
Show me the money!
Call or text now. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Call us or send us a text on the WNSR text line. 615-844-5600. 615-844-5600. Call or text. Same number. Alrighty then. Now, the Mcfarlands Show with Darren and Justin.
Heading on Tuesday afternoon to you, and yes, it is time for the Mcfarlands Show. The gang is all back here together in the Strike and Spare Family Fun Center studio for the next 2 hours. Darren McFarland, Justin McFarland.
Hello.
Back from
the
his
Caribbean.
Trip.
Yeah.
His trip.
Down in the Caribbean.
I said you went out of town, and then I said, I think maybe even out of the country.
Yes.
But I'm not even sure.
It was a good birthday. I had a birthday on Friday, and everybody, went out of their way to make it special for me, especially my lovely wife, who I appreciate very much. So, it was a good trip, a good time had by all, and thrilled to be back. Even though I see while I was gone, some things have happened here in Nashville. We've had some people moving on to World Series, and we've crowned baseball championships, and we've also got a brand new head coach of the Nashville Predators as well.
We do. The news coming out earlier today, that the Predators are going to move on from head coach John Hines, and they're going to hire an original Predator, Andrew Brunette. Now, on this show, I've been asking the question for weeks and weeks and weeks, because everything I kept seeing out there from people was, hey, John Hines, it looks like John Hines is going to be back. And I'm like, why do you say that? Like, what? Like, Barry Trotz hasn't come out and said he's evaluating, and yet we haven't heard boo since then. It didn't make sense. It wasn't passing the smell test to me, which is hence why I kept asking the question, are we sure John Hines is coming back? Are we positive about that? Because that press conference has been a while now. Yeah. Last time I checked, Barry Trotz hasn't done a follow-up. Is he still evaluating? And he had the opportunity, as you know, we talked about this.
Yes.
The day of the press conference afterwards on the show and that entire week, and every time we've ever talked about it, he had every opportunity that day to say, he said he's under contract, but that's as far as he would go. He's under contract.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's it. He's under contract. And we're going to evaluate everybody. Okay. So he didn't want to endorse him that day.
Yeah.
Okay. But as time went along, come on. You don't have to be around this stuff very long, in my opinion, which is why it wasn't passing my smell test. Something wasn't right. Something was off. And yet, like I said, everything I kept seeing on Twitter, people writing, it looks like John Hines is coming back. Really? He's you know that for a fact? Like, you think he's coming back, yet they still haven't said a word? We're like, what, 4 weeks past, 5 weeks past that press conference, and we got nothing still evaluating? Yeah, that doesn't make sense to me. And of course, now you know why I was asking the questions.
I was one of those people who did not think they would do this, because they had John Hines there at the season-ending press conference, sitting up there next to the outgoing general manager, along with the incoming general manager. All of the indications that Barry Trotz, the incoming general manager, was giving was that John Hines, that he was happy with him, at least as a coach or as a person or whatever, that they had good vibes and good communication or whatever they had, and that, yes, the evaluation process was still going, but he was under contract, and, it kind of left it like, okay, well, it seems like everything's all right for right now. Now, here's the other thing about this, is that they fired John. To me, they didn't have to make the announcement. I'm sorry, this is where I was going. They didn't have to make an announcement that John Hines was going to continue on to be the head coach. He was already under contract to be the head coach.
That's not true.
He was not under contract to be the head coach?
That's not true. You know the last time we had Alex Doherty on.
Yeah.
I said, because Alex was in the camp, look, and he does a tremendous job. And, now those guys are running Penalty Box Radio.
Amen.
Sean and Alex, look, they do a great job. But Alex was saying the same thing. Like, they don't have to. He's under contract. That's not true, though. Once you say, but we're going to evaluate you, that means...
But it doesn't change his contract status.
Well, no, but it doesn't also, that doesn't mean anything. That's just saying we're stating a fact. He's under contract.
Yeah.
But we're going to evaluate him, which then tells us, oh, so everything isn't okay because you're going to evaluate.
Yeah.
He's under contract. That's just a formality. You're telling us a fact.
Yes. Now he's under contract.
He's also telling us a fact. Oh, and now we're going to evaluate him. And we didn't hear anything but crickets for 5 weeks?
Now that is true. But the fact that he was under contract to me meant that they didn't have to come back and say one way or the other whether or not he was going to be
where we
coming
differ.
back as the head coach.
That's where we
He
differ.
was already under contract.
No, when
So
you say we
what's
have to evaluate, you do have to come back. That's where we differ.
I understand. No, I understand
when
your
you
point.
say we have to evaluate,
I understand.
You then have to follow up with, we've evaluated.
Yeah, no, I get it.
We've talked to him, and he's remaining our coach. Or in the case of today, we're moving on from him.
I don't think, and this is just me, and I could be totally wrong about this. And if I am, I am. It won't be the first time. It won't be the last time. I think if they kept John Hines as the head coach, I don't think they would have issued a press release, a statement, a nothing. They would have just moved on business as usual into the draft. And the next time we would have seen John Hines probably would have been during the draft.
Well, they wouldn't have escaped those questions because I would be asking
They wouldn't have escaped him, but he would have just gone, oh, yeah, John is good. He's coming back. I don't think there would have been a big thing about it. I don't think there would have been a statement or release or nothing.
You said you were evaluating.
There could have been a question.
So what was your evaluation?
There could have been a question, but what I'm saying is I don't think there would have been any grand announcement that we've decided that John Hines is going to return as for another season as the head coach of the Nashville Predators, and the statement from our general manager. Yes, John has showed us tremendous leadership over the past 3. I don't think any of that would have happened.
Here is where we're not on the same page, and that's okay. Because for the most part, for like 8+ months, we've been on the same page a lot.
Well,
but we're not on this one.
We haven't gotten to the heat of certain things yet, but that's because we were on the same page during football season and all that other stuff. But that's fine.
Is this officially the honeymoon period is over?
I don't know. No. No, we've crossed that period, but that's okay.
So let me try to put it to you this perspective, okay? You have we've all been in a situation. New boss comes in, right?
Sure.
And new boss comes in. We all know how that works, right?
Boy.
Okay. Justin, just like everybody else, we're going to evaluate you.
Oh, yeah.
And you go, yes, sir. Okay. Got it. So we're going to have a meeting. We're going to evaluate you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then for 6 months, you don't hear anything.
Scary.
Do you no? Why is it scary? You're under contract?
Yeah.
I mean, what do you mean? What are you scared of?
Because,
you're under contract.
Because
do they have to tell you anything?
No.
No, because
but see, that's the thing.
See, that's my point.
See, that's the thing.
You're going, and are you going to tell me anything? Like, what was your evaluation?
Maybe not.
So you're just going to never say a word and he's just he's under contract?
Oh yeah.
Nah.
Oh yeah.
Nah.
Oh.
Come on.
Oh, come on now. No.
Come on.
Listen, I am in television news for a living, okay? I have signed more contracts than anybody in this room. By far, I would put my roster up against anybody. No, they don't have to. You could be under evaluation and not know it. You could be under evaluation and know it. You could be under evaluation, past evaluation, and they could decide to keep you. You could be under evaluation. They could post your job and be under evaluation and then take that as like, and everything is fine. No, they don't have to tell you, you know what, we've conducted our evaluation and everything is okay. That would be great, but that's not the way that always works out. They can just say, yeah, we're under evaluation, and then next thing you know, yeah, we've decided to, retain you and, we're fine. And not make any announcement whatsoever to the public or anything else. And we'll I fully envision Barry Trotz sitting at a press conference coming up in June and just being, yes, John Hines coming back as head coach. Well, yeah, he's coming back. Yeah, I mean, we've thought about it. Everything's good.
Yeah, no, you can't answer that flippantly. Now, I will say this: the only difference is there ain't nobody in your building to ask, hey, excuse me, sir, what is the status on?
No, that's
Justin?
true.
Other than
the
you,
public is not
other
asking.
than you,
No, that's
no
true.
one is
the
asking.
The public is not asking.
New boss guy, hey, what? Hey, what have you decided on Justin yet? What? Are we good? Is he good? Like that doesn't happen. That doesn't happen. Nobody's going to follow up. Nobody's going to ask for an announcement. Now you're going, hey, bro.
Oh yeah.
Like we met a long time.
No.
Like,
you're scared. No. Listen,
right.
It could be a
as
little
long
rough.
as it's silent. You're nervous.
Oh man. Now, but again, I have seen it so many times, Darren, where guys who are or people who are quote unquote under evaluation don't hear anything, and they keep working and they keep working and they keep working, and no one ever comes to them and says anything. They were under evaluation, and the best they can tell, if they decided to move on,
that's amazing.
They never came and told me about it.
That's amazing.
And again, listen, and I just want to put this blanket statement. I'm not talking about. I've worked at other places other than where I'm at now.
He doesn't.
I'm
have
not
to
trying
be
to throw
to
directing to anything.
Yeah.
I'm just saying I've been doing television since 2006.
Yeah.
Okay. I've had 11 news directors and I don't know how many general managers. Okay. I could be talking about a lot of different situations. I'm just saying that I know I have seen it where you're under evaluation and no one says anything to you from henceforth, okay?
Well, that's crazy to me. Like that doesn't make any sense.
Which is why I was saying what I was saying.
That's what it is. Again, though, the only difference is in your case,
yes,
they don't have to answer the question.
No.
There's only one person that truly wants to ask a question.
Yeah.
The person that's under evaluation.
Yeah.
Other than that, nobody else is asking. If the next public thing they did, they're going to get asked right out of the gates.
Yeah.
I mean, it should be the first question. Okay, you told us that you were evaluating. What's the evaluation?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we're keeping him. Oh, okay, well, nobody knows that because you haven't said it. You see what I mean? Like, that's the reaction of that press conference of, well, okay, well, that's great, but you haven't followed up with your evaluation. You haven't told the public, the fans, the media, what you're doing. So that's the only difference. You don't have to. They have to internally. You don't have to. It's still bunk that people would get treated that. Like, that's
listen,
silly.
This isn't about whether or not it's right. This is just about what can and cannot be done.
Absolutely.
So
and
this isn't about a right or wrong thing.
We've been in different businesses, so to speak.
Yeah.
Not really.
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't surprise me at all. Because let me tell you, radio is just as jacked up, okay? And we don't have time. And I don't think people
care. No.
Okay? But I can tell you, it's just as jacked up.
Yeah.
It may be different platforms. One is official.
Oh, yeah.
One is not. But hey, actually, we are visual now. Radio is visual.
Yeah.
All right, we'll come back. By the way, Johnny is listening in Vancouver. He tweets at us, I've been telling friends of mine in the community of Preds fans this morning that for me, a milestone for an NHL franchise is when you hire your first alumni as your head coach. I think Andrew is a good hire. There you go, Johnny from Vancouver. Johnny, as always, thank you for listening in British Columbia, and hope you had a great Memorial weekend. All right, we're going to come back. We obviously weren't on the air yesterday.
Yeah.
Vince has got a very important haircut in his normal time slot, so he's asked to move a little bit earlier.
Okay.
So we must oblige because his hair is important to him.
It is.
He's a proud Italian man.
Looks good.
And he would like for his to have a nice cut.
Okay.
And so we're going to come back with Vince Ferrara. We're going to head east, where it's an hour ahead of us, they may have heard the news that we've been talking about an hour before we did. I don't know. I don't think so.
I don't know how that works, but
yeah,
okay.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
But we'll head to Knoxville. We'll talk to Vince Ferrara. We'll do that next.
You enjoy the thrill of gambling, but what happens when it becomes a problem? Whether you want to cut back or quit gambling altogether, the Gambling Clinic has been helping people change their gambling for over 2 decades. We're here to help, not to judge. The Gambling Clinic is a Tennessee-based clinic offering in-person and telehealth support to help people win back their life. Visit us at thegamblingclinic.com. This project is funded by the Tennessee Department of Mental Health and Substance Abuse Services.
I switched to Boost Mobile and got a free Samsung Galaxy A23 5G phone. Want to know the best part?
It was free?
Nope.
The fact that it's on America's largest 5G networks?
Nope. It's the ding.
Oh yeah, love the ding.
Right? It's all about the ding. It's the dingarooski, the dingaroner, the ring-a-ding-ding.
Unleash your power to save with Boost. Get a free Samsung Galaxy A23 5G phone when you switch. Boost Mobile. Unleash your power.
And the ding.
Limited time offer. New customers only. Available on select networks. 5G not available everywhere. One device per line. Tax excluded. Additional restrictions apply. See your local Boost Mobile store for details.
Anywhere fans go to cheer on their team, there are behind-the-scenes MVPs, ensuring everything is game day ready. We see you, Joe, fixing seats so every fan can enjoy every game. And Allie, who keeps her stadium running smoothly from the moment the first game starts to the last play of the season. At Grainger, you're our MVPs, and we're always here for you with supplies and solutions for every industry and 24/7 customer support. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Have you ever met a single person in your life that enjoys paying taxes? No, no one does. If you can't sleep at night because you have a huge problem with the IRS, I've got some free advice for you. This service is strictly limited to individuals that owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes. And if you qualify, we can guarantee that you won't be writing a big fat check to the IRS, or our services cost you nothing. The first 100 people that call today will get a free tax consultation worth $500. Stop worrying about your IRS problem. We can help you, we promise. Call the tax doctor right now. I mean right now, to learn more.
800-649-0142. 800-649-0142. 800-649-0142. That's 800-649-0142.
Staples has everything your business needs all in one place. Shipping supplies and services so you can fill orders from all over in one stop. Plus professional print and marketing services at your fingertips. And now during Staples Small Business Deal Days, when rewards members spend $100 or more, they get $20 back in rewards plus another $10 back with the Staples Connect app. And you'll find new deals in store every week on tech, chairs, and shipping supplies. Get everything for your business for less at Staples. Rewards offer ends 5/27. Limit 1. Redeemable in-store only.
It's the Mcfarlands Show with Darren McFarland and Fox 17's Justin McFarland.
Kurt Anderson is on the line with us. What do we have here in Nashville, Tennessee, in Peter Skoronski?
You got a throwback player. Say less, do more type of guy. Big Ten Offensive Lineman of the Year this year. Physical. He wants to run the damn football. He's a great pass protector. He's like kind of the all-American kid. Really smart.
The Mcfarlands Show with Darren and Justin on Nashville Sports Radio WNSR.
The Mcfarlands Show, broadcasting live in Rutherford County on 107.9 FM.
Thank you, Big Boy Sky. Rolling along on this Tuesday afternoon. Darren and Justin here with you. Strike and Spare Family Fun Center Studio. Let's head east. Let's bring in our buddy Vince Ferrara. 99.1 The Sports Animal there in Knoxville. He's got to get a fresh cut at his normal time slot, so he's asked to go a little bit early. He's a very proud Italian man, and he, haircuts are important.
They are.
And so we were happy to oblige. Vinny, how we doing?
I'm good. You guys are on camera too, so you understand these things. And you also know when you have a good stylist / barber, place to get your hair cut. If you change an appointment, sometimes it takes a while to get back in there. That was the tough part. But good to be on with you guys as always. Appreciate your flexibility.
So, surprised, not surprised on UT not hosting a regional, being put in arguably maybe the hottest team in America right now in Clemson. I think they've won 21 of 22. By the way, congratulations to Lipscomb. Their head coach, Jeff Forehand, will join us in the second hour. They are also in that pod at Clemson. What were your thoughts on that region?
Yeah, no, I wasn't surprised at all. It was one of the ones that at one point it was sort of projected for Tennessee to go there. I think more recently the biggest ones like D1 had Tennessee going to Indiana State and Terre Haute with Indiana State as the number 16 overall, but they were farther up. I'm not exactly sure why they were, but they were, and Tennessee was in Clemson. So it's interesting in a lot of ways. Clemson is would, if those two face off, would make a rematch of the Orange Bowl. So there's that intrigue there. There's the color orange that's going to be dominant there at the Clemson Regional. You mentioned how hot they are. I think they've won 16 straight, and in addition to the 21 of 22, they only won 2 of their first 7 series, and then have not lost a series since. They have a player that is not only a 300 hitter, but a really good arm with, I want to say, 91 strikeouts, good ERA, and so they're going to be a handful for sure. And the ACC was a good league overall with Wake and others that made the tournament this year. So that will be a challenge. But look, it's hard to know what momentum means in college baseball when you're talking about regular season and conference tournaments. Sometimes the momentum continues. Vandy is an example of that. Arkansas has done it where you build off of what you do in the regular season and conference tournament, and you get to Omaha. Other times it doesn't turn out. Tennessee was an example of that. Arkansas has been an example the other way as well. So you just never know how it plays out. Ole Miss used it to their advantage last year. So just because Clemson's red hot does not guarantee anything. I bet you some teams that went deep into the weekend at Omaha are going to be quick exits. There may happen to 1 or 2 teams. So it's just the way of the sport. Who handles what situation the best? That's the biggest wild card that we don't know about any of these teams. I think overall it's a decent draw for Tennessee, because if Tennessee, with their talent, if they can play better on the road than they did generally during the year, this team has the ability to get to Omaha with its pitching, because you can rely. There's arms there to where you can bring out arms that you're not used to and win a regional final. Tennessee didn't utilize those arms because they were one and done and couldn't hit in Hoover. So you just never know how it works. It's a smaller ballpark. I think that could be a plus for Tennessee. Maybe their power transferring, whereas in Hoover it's a bigger ballpark. And then Charlotte is where Andrew Lindsay, their Friday night starter, is where he transferred from. Now he wasn't a part of that team. It's been a couple of years, but he could very well get the ball in Game 1 on Friday against Charlotte. And last time Tennessee played Charlotte, they beat them 9-0 in Charlotte in 2021. Tennessee played Lipscomb and won 10-0 earlier this year. So I think for Lipscomb, I think it's cool for them. They get to experience a regional outside of Nashville. Maybe Coach Forehand will tell you that, but I think that's the draw there. I'm glad they didn't stay in Nashville. Let these kids experience what it's like to go to a regional instead of just driving to the ballpark like they normally would.
Yeah.
I know they want to be regional, but let's shake things up. I'm just not a fan when the same teams go to the same regionals every year.
Look, I hear you on what you said about the pitching and the ballpark, blah, blah, blah. But when you said, you kind of glossed over the road part. I mean, isn't that like the biggest concern of all? I mean, the Tennessee has been just god-awful on the road this season, and it played out in Hoover. I mean, they couldn't even get out of Tuesday's session. One and done.
Yeah, absolutely. It is the biggest question mark, and it's the offense that hasn't translated overall. It's the defense. Their defense has been much worse on the road, and everything is connected. When they play better defense, they pitch better, and it feeds off of onto the offense as well. So, yeah, it's not a gloss over. We don't know how this team is going to play, because remember, they won their last series on the road against a really good South Carolina team. But then one game after that, then they lost in Hoover in single elimination. So who knows if they start out in double elimination, if maybe they bounce back from the one loss, because generally they are, or at least they started to trend up a little bit and playing better from the road. But it's a big question mark. This is about Tennessee more than anyone else, I think, in that regional, and how they play, and also the reset. That's another variable that we don't know. A lot of teams are going to look different than what they did in the regular season, good or bad. How do they handle it? I think this is the most wide open that you're going to see a college baseball tournament in a long time. Much different than the Women's College World Series, where chalk,
yeah, big time.
Every year, 6 of the top 8 national seeds advanced, and most of them didn't even go to a third game. So I think college baseball, it's going to be a lot more wild, woolly, and unexpected.
Sure. That part we can definitely agree on. I do not believe 6 of 8 will go on the men's side at all, because it just never plays out that way, right? It never does. So it's truly it's a different season. I mean, to your point, like it's a long season, but this is now a different season, and we're going to find out who can get hot at the right time. Because there's also a lot of hot teams like Clemson and others that'll cool down. It will not translate to this new season, because this truly is a new season. So I guess my question for you is, this is a pretty good sample of we've seen Tennessee baseball this year, and they kind of are what they are to this point. Now you have the chance to change that narrative, but what gives you hope that they can change the narrative?
Well, that they have the arms first and foremost.
Okay.
They still have one of the best pitching staffs in the country. And
by the way, kudos to the arm that got called up. Was it the D-backs?
Ben Joyce.
Angels. Yes. Yeah.
He was on last year's team. I mean, talk about skyrocketing up the minors, and Drew Gilbert is already in Double-A, and Jose Altuve was like, this kid's major league ready right now.
Wasn't he throwing over 100 over the weekend?
Yeah, his first pitch was a 102-mile-per-hour sinker.
What? What?
Have fun with that. And it's so unusual, too, because he throws at a lower arm angle, so his fastball or sinker, it rises first and then it sinks at the end. So it's kind of got this up and then back down at triple digits, which is very unusual. So, he is, and he's put in the work. Tony Vitale was talking about him today. It's not like he's just got the arm and he just lets it go. He's had to put in the work with technique and mindset and bouncing back from giving up hits, things like that. So, yeah, very impressive that he got up there so quickly.
So, Vince, I've got a curveball for you, and I have not thrown this past.
102?
I don't know if it's that fast.
No pun intended, yeah.
I don't know if it's that fast, but I do want to throw something past you here that I have not talked to Darren about, that I've seen here in the last few hours, I've always had questions about this, but let's go ahead and go there. I've seen here that T. Martin's son has entered the transfer portal for baseball. He's supposed to be one of the best prospects around. And there's been, some rumors here that maybe Tennessee could be in play here for him. Caden Martin is his name. He's an outfielder for the Miami Hurricanes. He's entered the transfer portal, according to at least a couple of different resources as of a few hours ago. So not so much about Caden Martin and whatever that young man's future is, but I've heard so many rumors and things about T. Martin's relationship with the University of Tennessee. Where does that stand right now? What is that like? Because I keep hearing things, Vince, and I don't know what's true and what's not, and what's going on. There always just seems to be sort of a dark cloud over the whole thing.
Well, I think it's fine.
Okay.
T. Martin wasn't going to, he was planning to be a part of, we have a big annual event that the station throws called Sports Fest that we're doing this Saturday, and we're actually going to be recognizing a lot of the 1998 national championship football team with coaches and players. So there'll be a lot of those guys there. Obviously, T. Martin was the quarterback of that team. He has OTAs with the Ravens, so he's not going to be able to come down. So he taped an interview that will be broadcast in there, and he has fond memories of Tennessee.
Okay.
Now, are there individuals that maybe that's strained? I think that is possible, but I don't think it's, me or no one in my family is ever going to have anything to do with the University of Tennessee. I'm not aware of that. I don't get the sense from people that are closer to him that feel that way either. So
okay, good. That's good to know. I'm glad I trust you when you say that 1,000%. I just, stuff flies around out there. Well, they passed him over for the job back whenever, and this, he has hurt feelings and all. There's just a bunch of clutter.
Right.
Okay, fair enough. Let's move on to the other part about the on-the-field baseball here for Tennessee. How much do you think experience matters in a World Series settings here when we're talking about going from regional and obviously moving on to Omaha at some point? But how much will experience be a factor, you think, in the college baseball postseason?
Yeah, good point, Justin, because if you look at that Ole Miss team from a year ago, that was such a quick exit in Hoover, then they were one and done in Hoover last year, and the SEC tournament didn't matter for them. They were basically thought to be the last team in, and they won the national championship without that SEC tournament success that we were talking about earlier. But part of the reason why they were able to flip the switch and come together is because they had a lot of experience on that team, right? Tim Elko, go on the mound, in the field. They have a lot of experienced guys that could kind of bring it all together, use the reset, and make a run as probably the last time for a lot of those guys. So you seize the moment. I think Tennessee has plenty of those guys. In fact, they have plenty of those guys, even though they had to change a lot of their position players. They have plenty of those guys that were on the team but maybe didn't have as big a roles. So other than Christian Moore at second, Blake Burke at first, those are two sophomores who were on that team with the disappointment of last year. Everybody else is an upperclassman and at all positions among their starting lineup. And then they have a whole bunch of experience in their arms on the pitching staff. So I think Tennessee does have that as something they can fall back on as an ingredient that Ole Miss used, and I think those that are going to flip the switch really need. The pitching is another thing that they do have, that if you come together at the right time, and again, I have no idea if they will or not, those are two things you like to have on your side as a potential to put it together.
Last but not least here about Tennessee baseball, what do they need? What's the success for them? What does success look like? Obviously, yes, winning the whole thing, that'd be great. But what does success look like for Tennessee baseball? How far do they need to go in this tournament for them to feel good about where they are as a program?
Well, Justin, it depends on who them is.
Okay.
Honestly, the program is going to feel fine and confident with Tony Vitello and the direction of the program, Danny White, the administration. They're going to be fine with Tony Vitello and the direction of the program, regardless of if they even get out of this regional. But if you ask fans, I think fans are going to be disappointed if they don't get back to Omaha. Now, they haven't been playing like an Omaha team, but I think with the preseason expectations that were there, I think fans think that they belong there and they should figure out a way to get there, especially when there's examples that a lot of us point to of, other teams weren't playing great going into the tournament and they figured it out. So I think there's some of that expectation. I think this team is more talented than what they have shown. Therefore, you should play to your potential. But it's not like everyone is going to totally turn on Tony Vitello. But in terms of success, I think Omaha is where the success is, especially because you got there a couple of years ago. And as you guys know, then that makes it sort of the new standard moving forward.
Okay, a couple things real quick. And Lady Vols, the softball team, can they win it all? Are they good enough to win the College World Series?
I will say yes. I honestly think they're the second best team in the country, Oklahoma, with their 48-game winning streak. I mean, it's hard to imagine them losing. So once you run into them, and they could very well do so in the winner's bracket game in Game 2 if they beat Alabama, then you got to come out of the loser's bracket, which is so difficult in the Women's College World Series. It'd be hard. If Oklahoma gets tripped up and they have to come through the loser's bracket, and maybe you avoid them altogether or for a while, maybe they've exhausted pitching, things like that, then maybe that is the entry for Tennessee. I just think Oklahoma's so good. If they're in their way, I think it'd be tough. But I think Tennessee is better than everybody else. And I think Kiki Malloy might be the best player at the Women's College World Series all together with everybody.
Well, it looks like Josh Heupel has hired a name we know. We remember his playing days. But Mackenzie Milton is joining the staff?
Yes, he is. And it multiplies the Miltons in the quarterback room now.
Yes, it does.
With Joe. So really interesting addition, and it makes a lot of sense. They became tight when Milton was rehabbing from his injury. I think 2018 was the first year they were together at UCF. They made that unbelievable return against Notre Dame for Florida State and played really well, and obviously limited his playing future. But young guy, smart guy, Heupel loves him. And we haven't had a chance to talk to Heupel since then. I think Jimmy Himes may talk to him at the SEC spring meetings. He's covering it for us down in Destin. And by the way, if you guys need any audio or if any listeners want to hear the best coverage from Destin, nobody does it better than Jimmy. He's already doing one-on-ones with head football coaches and ADs and all that. Unbelievable. Just go to our website, 991thesportsanimal.com, right smack in the middle, SEC spring meetings feed right there. You can also subscribe to that anywhere you get your podcast. You can hear all kinds of interviews. You guys are welcome to any of that if there's something you want to use. But tons of really good stuff you won't find anywhere else around the country with the way Jimmy does it down there.
Not surprised. Good to know. Thanks for that tip. Are you going to Clemson or no?
No, I'll be staying here.
John's going.
Got duties.
Fort. Yep, John.
Got duties there with the morning show.
Yeah.
You know.
Omaha. If Tennessee gets to Omaha, then that's when I think I'll get to travel with.
I hope it happens because I'll be out there too. That would be cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
Vinny, appreciate it.
Thanks on you.
Get a fresh cut and have a great week, and we'll talk to you next week.
All right, sounds good. Appreciate you guys.
Vince Ferrara, 99.1 The Sports Animal there in Knoxville. Wide open the rest of the hour. 615-844-5600 is our phone line and our text line. If you want to react to everything that's happened in the sports world, it's time for you to do so. You're listening to The Mcfarlands Show, Nashville Sports Radio.
Timeout.
All right. Remember, we're a team that plays together. Listen, the winning will take care of itself. We just have to get everyone involved.
In interscholastic sports, we celebrate what makes every one of us unique. And in the pursuit of a common goal, everyone in the huddle, in the bleachers, and in the community comes together. This message presented by the TSSAA and the Tennessee Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you with professional-grade industrial supplies. Count on real-time product availability and fast delivery. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Today on Hey Culligan's Smart Home, Smarter Water Softener, here's Kevin.
Hey Culligan, can a smart water softener lift those heavy salt bags for me?
Kevin, it can.
Wait, it can?
Yep, the smart high-efficiency water softener from Culligan can alert your dealer when the salt needs to be replaced, and they'll do it for you, so your water stays soft and you stay away from lifting the bags.
I mean, I could lift them if I wanted.
No judgment here, Kevin. We're happy to do it, and we're already on the way. Let us help you out with a free in-home water test with the local Culligan water expert at Culligan.com.
Post-COVID travel is on a surge. Many of you are traveling for fun because you've been locked up for 2 years. Listen, whether you're traveling for fun to Italy, Greece, Spain, France, or somewhere else fun in the world, or USA, now is a great time to book before the crowds hit and save. Plus, with a strong U.S. dollar, you'll get more travel bang for your buck. Right now is a smart time to make your reservations and call low-cost airlines. With one phone call, you can let us do all the work for free. We'll shop hundreds of airlines, hotels, resorts, and give you a way to save huge money on your vacation plans. And if you call right now, we'll give you a free hotel room with a qualified travel purchase. So call right now.
800-704-1662. 800-704-1662. 800-704-1662. That's 800-704-1662.
Five-state forecast.
Your exclusive Nashville Sports Radio, WNSR Sky Scan forecast. Today we'll have sunny to partly cloudy skies with a chance for a shower or thunderstorm in the evening. Today's high 86. Partly cloudy otherwise tonight, low 64. Mixed clouds and sun, a few thunderstorms Wednesday. Utilizing the resources of the WeatherBug Network on Nashville Sports Radio, I'm WNSR's meteorologist Jim Rinaldi.
Sports Radio, WNSR.
The Jim Rome Show.
Man, I love Facebook. That's not in any way a time suck. It is such a valuable use of your time going on everybody else's page and posting how beautiful they look when they don't. You know they don't. Come on. Anyway, do what you want with your time. I don't want you to tell me how to spend my time. I won't tell you how to spend your time, but I will tell you this. Stop cropping out pictures and including yourself and then acting like, hey, my hair looked great that day. My makeup was perfect that day. Just do what I tell you. With regards to this, you'll be fine.
Weekdays from 11 to 2 on Nashville Sports Radio. Welcome back to the Strike and Spare Studios. You're listening to The Mcfarlands Show with Darren McFarland and Fox 17's Justin McFarland.
Indeed you are. 3:15. We'll go over to the campus of Lipscomb. Jeff Forehand, their fine head coach of the baseball team, headed to Clemson, same region, same pod as Tennessee. We just talked with Vince Ferrara at the Sports Animal there in Knoxville. Also, Jim Wyatt putting out there that the Titans will hold joint practices with the Vikings, the Purple People Eaters, up in Minnesota in August.
This is before their second preseason game. They will hold joint practices up there in Minnesota. Normally, the Titans are the one hosting these things. Now, not to say they haven't been on the road and done them before. They have.
But a lot of them, most of them have been here.
Most of them have been here. Yeah. So this will be, and they've never done one with the Vikings that I can remember.
No.
So this is and normally when they do this, it normally means the coaches are very aligned in how they view practice and whatever philosophies they've come up with. Normally it suggests a relationship between the two teams whenever this does happen. So again, the Titans set for joint practices. Jim Wyatt hasn't said how many, but a joint practice, at least one or two, before their second preseason game coming up in August in Minnesota, where the heat probably won't be as high in August as it will be down here.
I'm going to say that's a safe bet.
Yeah.
Safe bet.
Yeah.
Kevin O'Connell's the coach. I mean, he looks like could be Vrabel's kid. That's really young. 615-844-5600 is our phone line and our text line if you want to get in touch with us. Tony in Nolensville has done so, fresh off his trip to Hoover. Tony, what's up?
Good afternoon, gentlemen. Got back yesterday. We were going to come back after the game, and I said, I'm going to savor it when we win the championship. And we ended up last night, or 2 nights ago, went and had us a good steak and a good dinner. And, Darren, it feels good when you have the Mississippi State fans and the LSU fans and the Arkansas fans and everybody telling you congratulations. And, this team won this championship, I didn't think they would win the championship. And I'll be honest with you, I don't think there's many people anywhere that thought we were going to go down there and win the championship. I think a lot of people thought we could go down there and play well, but to do what they did and come back with the hardware, it just speaks volumes once again for Corbin. He's climbing the charts and all the numbers, and it's amazing what he's done in his 20-plus years here. And if I heard this correctly, we're in our 17th consecutive NCAA appearance, which leads the nation.
Yep.
That is amazing. That's a start. That's hard work. That's having good players. That's being able to push the right buttons. He did that down in Hoover. Man, did he push the right buttons. And the guys delivered, Darren. They come through. And I said this 2 weeks ago. You talked about it, me, you, and Justin. That 8th inning against Arkansas, when they scored those 8 runs, it was like a light switch went off.
Yeah.
And these guys are peppering the ball all over the field now. Laneve's home run is still going through the pines down there. But, I mean, they're just hitting it all over the park. 180,000 people, Darren and Justin. It wasn't quite 180,000, but it was the largest attendance in SEC tournament history for the week.
Wow.
That is, and then the night they played, I believe Florida was the second largest crowd ever, right at 15,000 plus.
Well, it was the perfect storm, right? Wasn't that the Auburn-Alabama game before that? Then Vanderbilt, Florida. So, I mean, it was the perfect.
Well, no, and you're right. And everything was being played. You're right. You're correct. And it was the perfect storm, and everything just come together. So it was, it was really amazing. And when I saw that they were sending Tennessee to Clemson, guys, it was just like what Vince just said. First thing popped in my mind, I said, this is going to be football rivalry and a football revenge game in baseball.
Could be.
I immediately thought that they're doing this on purpose. And I hated that they're putting Lipscomb over there with them, but I think they seem to be pretty excited about it and those type of things. And one last thing, Darren, I get out a while ago and you go to the car wash. You never know who you're going to be beside down there. Right here, Nolensville, Scott Hamilton getting his car washed.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really?
Right there beside me. I said, hey, Scotty, he come over and we struck up a good conversation. I introduced my wife to him. I said, you just shook hands with one of the greatest Olympians of all time.
And one of the most nicest, genuine human beings you'll ever
Such a nice
meet.
guy.
Yep.
Just
great cause, too.
Unbelievable nice guy. Darren, I talked to him when I worked up in Bridgestone a couple of times, and will never hesitate to shake your hand and take a minute or two to talk to you.
Nope.
And just a tremendous guy. And, of course, we were talking a little bit, got talking about what's going on with the press today, and I'm glad y'all covered that. So, but, guys, I wanted to call back in. Darren, I hope to catch up. Maybe me and you can ride to Omaha together.
Wow.
How about that?
Wouldn't that be something? Wouldn't that be
I'm going to be,
something?
you're not going to want to, I don't think so. Because when you see my car, what's going to be in it, going to Omaha, we're playing in the biggest youth baseball tournament in the country. So our car, I'm questioning, honestly, this is a conversation. No, somebody at my wife's work, one of her bosses offered up a trailer. We've thought about, do we need to do this? Because we're going to have all this baseball stuff in tow. It's not just a suitcase. We're a baseball wagon and chairs and everything that comes with it. So, I don't know. We may be pulling a trailer.
You sound pretty excited about it.
Yeah,
really,
we are. We're excited.
I think it's going to be great. Well, I hope to see you there, and maybe we can go throw back a cold one, whether it be a Coke or adult beverage.
We're going to the Wednesday night game, June 21st, for sure. We already have our tickets, so
okay,
definitely be at that
guys,
game.
thank you for letting me come on and talk and share my experience down there in Hoover. I saw Smitty and all of them down there. We It was just a fun time. And the Vandy Nation, let me shout out to them. They came and they showed up, and it was good. It was good to have, and I know the players and the boys and the team seemed to glad that we stayed there and we were there for them. Thank you.
Awesome, Tony. Thanks for checking in, man.
Thanks, Tony.
Glad you guys had a blast. By the way, Vanderbilt, of course, hosting their region for the 7th time in the last 10 seasons, which is pretty amazing. Oregon and Xavier will be the 2 versus 3 seeds on Friday at 1 o'clock.
Okay.
And then Vanderbilt will take the field against Eastern Illinois, of course, 1 versus 4 at 8 p.m. on Friday night. We'll come back and wrap up the first hour of the Mcfarlands Show next.
With 13 locations nationally, including Smyrna, Star Leasing Company is a semi-trailer one-stop shop and the perfect place to build a career as a semi-trailer mechanic. Seeking candidates with all levels of experience, Star Leasing Company has a semi-trailer technician trainee program with sign-on and quarterly bonuses and other opportunities such as $1,000 for having a yearly physical. Package also includes 401k with company match, health, dental, and vision insurance, competitive pay with weekly paychecks, and paid holidays and time off. Star Leasing Company, not your typical semi-trailer leasing company. Visit starleasing.com to learn more.
All new spring deals are here at Lowe's. Start planting your garden this weekend with Bonnie 11.8-ounce vegetables. Buy 4 for $10. Plus, liven up your patios and decks with fresh blooms. Select 1.5-gallon hanging baskets or 2 for $16. Lowe's knows spring. Lowe's knows home improvement. Offers valid through 5/17. In-store only. Actual plant size and selection varies by location. While supplies last, excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
Today is the day. Today is the day you empty your garage and closets of your old tech. Today is the day you hang up on that dial-up modem. Today is the day you tell that old GPS to get lost. Because while Staples recycles old tech for free each and every day, today, during Staples' free Tech Take Back, Rewards members get $10 in Staples Rewards when they recycle their tech. Cut the cord on your old tech and recycle it at Staples. N617. Limit 1 reward per month. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/recycling for details.
I've got a unique vacation idea for you that's right here in the United States. If you're ready for a vacation that's fun and downright affordable, listen up. It's driving distance for many of you, so no planes, no airline delays, no hassles. It's Branson, Missouri, the entertainment capital of the Midwest. Live music for everyone. Branson has 3 beautiful, enormous lakes, water attractions, live shows, great food, and tons of entertainment. It's a perfect vacation for you and your family, or if you're retired and you want to have a great time. And you can stay in Branson for as low as $99 a night. Please understand, this is not a timeshare offer. It's a real vacation for as little as $99 a night. We've got a free vacation guide we want to send you right now. All you have to do is call for complete details. Get your free Branson, Missouri guide right now by calling this number.
800-413-3953. 800-413-3953. 800-413-3953. That's 800-413-3953.
Music City will be rocking June 23rd through the 25th with a different sound. The sound of NASCAR.
Start your engine!
The Ally 400 is back at Nashville Superspeedway, and this year, it's a night race. NASCAR in Nashville. It's guitars and fast cars under the lights. Visit NashvilleSuperspeedway.com to get your tickets for the triple header weekend, including the Ally 400, Tennessee Lottery 250, and the Rackley Roofing 200 today.
Hey, John, you know every first Friday of the month at the Bill King Show from 6 to 9 and our Greg Pogue and John Burton Show from 9 to 11 broadcast live on location at Kitchen Notes at the Omni Nashville Hotel.
Yeah, but this first Friday, June 2nd, will be extra special when Nashville icon and News Channel 5 news anchor Vicki Yates spends 2 hours with us on her last day at News Channel 5. Listen to the show Friday, June 2nd from 9 to 11 from Kitchen Notes as we pay tribute to a true Nashville media legend and a wonderful lady, Vicki Yates.
You're listening to The Mcfarlands Show live on WNSR Nashville Sports Radio.
Lots going on. Busy sports time. The desert is just around the corner, but not right now. Predators have relieved John Hines of his duties.
Yeah.
We've talked a lot about that. We're going to continue that discussion. Andrew Brunette is going to be the new Predators head coach. Now, none of this has been made official, but it's out there.
Yeah.
It's out there.
Yeah.
Andrew Burnett is an original Predator. In fact, he scored the first ever goal in franchise history. Now, when Joel Quenneville got shown the door because of all the stuff that happened in Chicago when he was the head coach, when he was the current head coach of the Florida Panthers and he was relieved of his duties, Andrew Burnett took over as the interim head coach. Andrew Burnett last year led him to 51-18-6 record.
Nice.
They were the President's Trophy team. Remember, we talked about that. They had the best record in the regular season. They got beat in the second round by the Tampa Bay Lightning, who would eventually go on to the Cup final and lose.
Yes.
But they then brought in Paul Maurice. They did not keep him. He went on to be an assistant coach, Andrew Burnett, this season with the New Jersey Devils. So I hear good things about Andrew Burnett. I guess my question right now is, why didn't Florida keep him?
Why hasn't anyone else hired him?
Yeah.
There's a lot of other
That's the other
vacancies around the NHL. Why has no one else reached out to him? Now, listen, we're going to keep it 100 here on the Mcfarlands Show. If you Google his name, he was also involved in a DUI case involving a golf cart a few months ago as well, up there in New Jersey. So that's going to pop up when you Google his name, and I don't know everything that's going on with that, and I barely know the story. I'm just saying that is out there in his history somewhat, and because it's on the public record, it's worth the mention there as well. However, the Predators have moved forward here and moved away from John Hines, and they've got some explaining to do. Why did they do this? Why did they do this now? Is there any pre-existing relationship other than, Barry Trotz's coach, Andrew Burnett?
Obviously, there's that relationship, of course.
But outside of that, was that it? Were they together some other stuff? I don't know. There's a lot of questions about why this gentleman and why now, and what happened with John Hines. All of that needs to be fleshed out.
We'll continue the discussion on the other side. We'll begin the second hour with that. Also, you can join in on that discussion, 615-844-5600. Jeff Forehand at 3:15. More of the Mcfarlands Show coming up next.
560 AM, 95.9 FM, Brentwood, Nashville, 107.9 FM, Smyrna, Nashville's first 24-hour sports station. WNSR, Nashville Sports Radio.
ABC News, I'm Rena Roy. Former Theranos CEO Elizabeth Holmes has reported to the Bryan Prison Farm in Texas to serve her 11-year sentence. Holmes was convicted of defrauding investors with false claims about the company's blood testing technology.
And while it's a minimum security women's detention camp, federal criminal defense attorney Candace Fields says
nothing compares to the experience she's going to have.
Elizabeth Holmes, one of about 650 women at the prison 100 miles outside Houston. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
In Iowa, crews will conduct another search following the partial collapse of an apartment complex Sunday. Police say 5 people are unaccounted for. Police in Hollywood, Florida are still searching for people involved in a mass shooting last night on the boardwalk, sending more than half a dozen people to the hospital. 2 suspects are under arrest, police still searching for 3 others involved. A race on Capitol Hill to pass a bill before the June 5th default deadline. At least 18 Republicans say they won't support the measure. This is ABC News.
At the United States Postal Service, we're reinventing our network to help keep your business moving. With new shipping options to deliver better value, greater flexibility to conveniently reach your customers, more confident shipping with new informed delivery features, and new electric vehicles for a cleaner, brighter future. Fast, reliable, perfectly orchestrated. The United States Postal Service, delivering for America. Learn more at USPS.com/moving forward.
So you just used bug spray in your home. Now what? Well, between the waiting for things to dry up and keeping your family away from the mess, it hits you. You could have used Zevo. Unlike other bug sprays that stick around, Zevo goes from kill to clean in seconds. Plus, it's safe for use around people and pets when used as directed. Zevo, people-friendly, bug-deadly.
WNSR, Nashville Sports Radio.
Greg Pogue back once again to tell you about Bongo Java, Nashville's oldest and most celebrated coffee company, located in the Omni Nashville Hotel. Bongo Java's expert baristas take pride in their trade, serving up fresh, locally roasted coffee, classic handcrafted espresso, drinks, and fresh baked goods all day long. Start your day with an American or cold brew, or for a taste of Music City, grab a West End latte flavored with local honey and cinnamon, a Breakfast Club biscuit, or an everything all-at-once sandwich will fill you up and let you focus on your day. Bongo Java also has you covered for lunch with tasty deli sandwiches served on fresh-baked ciabatta bread like the I'll Have What She's Having or the Godfather. Bongo Java, open 7 days a week from 6 a.m. to 3 p.m. Enjoy a fresh cup of Bongo Java in the heart of Music City. Bongo Java is the Nashville way to start the day. Bongo Java in the Omni Nashville Hotel, downtown 5th Avenue, Music City.
Listen, you can't handle the truth. It's about to go off. Live from the WNSR Strike and Spare studios.
Just a bit outside.
Now back to the Mcfarlands Show with Darren McFarland and Fox 17's Justin McFarland.
Show me the money!
Call or text now. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Call us or send us a text on the WNSR text line. 615-844-5600. 615-844-5600. Call or text. Same number.
Alrighty then.
Now, the Mcfarlands Show with Darren and Justin.
Second hour rolling along here on this Tuesday afternoon. Darren and Justin here with you. Strike and Spare Family Fun Center studio. By the way, Tony called us towards the end of the first hour, and Mike weighed in on our text line. And Mike was down in Hoover as well, Mike Schmitto, and he said Friday was the second largest crowd, and it was the Texas A&M LSU game. Then it was Vanderbilt and Alabama. I had it all. I saw so much baseball this weekend, so much sports over the holiday weekend, like it's all running together. But yeah, it was A&M and LSU, Vanderbilt and Alabama. Greg also weighs in on our text line. Going back to the discussion of what the Predators did today, he said, well, I will admit I was wrong. I was sure John Hines was coming back and Dan Lambert was going to be replaced by Carl Taylor. However, I'm not shocked about the Hines being let go after a recent interview by Barry Trotz. I still don't think the Carl Taylor being a part of the staff, which I've alluded to on this show, is out of the equation now. Of course, they're in the Western Conference Final. They just got a big win. And so their season still continues in Milwaukee with the Admirals. I think that, I've heard this for a couple weeks now, so I wouldn't be surprised if he's not a part of this staff, but I don't know that because Andrew Burnett, I don't have a clue what he's thinking for his staff, right? I don't know. And so.
Or what he's been told. Sometimes you tell.
Well, that is a really good point.
Listen, this person is going to be part.
Him. Yeah, he is going to be a part of your staff. I know people are like, really? Yeah, it does happen.
Oh, yeah.
It definitely happens. I mean, look, David Boyle made Phil Housley a part of that staff. Okay, Phil Housley was put on that staff.
Yeah.
And it's happened before. Other guys have been put on a staff from the front office.
Other organizations, other sports. This is a sports thing. This is not a Nashville Predators thing. This is a sports thing. And we don't know if it's happening with the Predators. So the point we're just making is we're unsure exactly what he's been told as a part of the conditions of him being hired as the head coach of this hockey team. Listen, if you're going to do this and Barry Trotz is the new general manager, the goal here, everybody, is to win a cup at this point. The Predators have done everything else as an organization. Everything else. They have, been to the Stanley Cup Finals. They have won the President's Cup. They have done. They've done it. They have done it. You name it, they have done it. The only thing they have not done is won the Stanley Cup. And this is not about a hire to get you back to respectability. This isn't about to me, every hire you make here has to be about lifting up the cup at center ice at Bridgestone Arena or some other arena, and bringing that Stanley Cup back here to Nashville for the parade of all parades here in the city. That's what this has got to be about. And apparently they think Andrew Brunette is the guy that can do that, and they don't think John Hines was. So why that is, they have not explained themselves yet, but they will. And, again, this is a former Nashville Predator player. He only played one season here with the Predators. He played for a lot of different teams, too. This is a journeyman hockey guy. He has played or coached, Darren, if you can count, almost 9 or 10 different organizations in the NHL.
Who is this?
Andrew Brunette.
It's not that extensive.
Played or coached.
Oh, played.
Yeah.
Oh, throwing played.
No,
Okay,
not
okay.
the coaching. No,
Okay,
sir. No.
he was.
No, he's played or coached in. Just about,
See, 2014-15, he was the assistant coach for Minnesota. 2015-19, he was the assistant GM in Minnesota. 2019 through 2022, he was the assistant coach for the Florida Panthers. And, of course, I told you, he took over for Joe Quenneville when he was let go with 51-18-6. And they won the President's Trophy. That was last season. And then this season, he was the assistant coach for New Jersey. Yeah, but, he played as a player.
As a player, he played for the Capitals, the Predators, the Atlanta Thrashers, the Minnesota Wild, the Colorado Avalanche, played for the Wild again, and the Chicago Blackhawks as a player. So he's seen a few things. He's made a few stops.
As for John Hines, got to know him in his 4 seasons as the head coach of the Predators. He's really, really a good human being. A really good human being. He is exactly what you want as a head coach, as in a representative of an organization and a head coach, doing things the right way to deal with as a member of the media. He is an awesome guy. Okay, he's a family man. He's a smart hockey guy. I think he's well prepared. I think John Hines is a good coach. But you know how this works, Justin.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you are paid to be right at a different level. And unfortunately, he was just not able to get this team really to another level.
Another level.
They never got out of the first round with him. First season was the whole jacked up COVID thing. They didn't even get out of the qualifying round. And then he's lost, they got swept by the Avalanche.
Yeah.
They won a couple of games against Carolina, still in that reconfigured COVID year. And then last year, they missed the playoffs.
Yeah.
He's a great guy. He just didn't get the results here.
Yeah.
That was necessary to keep his job. So I can't say that I was terribly surprised by that, but I kept asking the question because it didn't make sense, Justin. It didn't make sense why they weren't coming out. I know we've already had this discussion in the first segment.
Yeah.
You can say you're under contract, but when you say we're going to evaluate the head coach, you then, to me, have to follow up with your evaluation, okay? You put it out there that you're evaluating him and everybody else, and there was no follow-up. And that, to me, didn't pass the smell test.
Real quick, Darren, and we got callers. You know this organization way better than I do. How surprised are you that they dismissed the guy and hired a guy in the same day, essentially, in the same sweep? That they didn't say, we've let this guy go and we're going to conduct a search. If they've hired him, that means the decision wasn't made today. They've made this decision several days ago at least.
Of course.
So, I mean, I don't know.
Look, you're asking a really good question, okay?
I'm sorry. And we got callers and we got guests and all this other stuff. So
it's one of those days where you're trying. By the way, the show's put together and then things happen, and this is live radio. This is what happens.
Yeah.
So, look, you're asking a really good question. Do I have, and you know this.
Yes.
Do I have the utmost respect for Barry Trotz? Am I pro Barry Trotz? 100%. 100%. I've known Barry for a long, long time. I've interviewed him hundreds of times. I used to do a weekly with him.
Yes, sir.
I don't understand how this was handled. I'm actually surprised because how I talk about Barry Trotz.
I'm chuckling because I'm surprised to hear you say that. That was not the answer I was expecting, but okay.
I feel the same about David Poile as I do Barry Trotz. They're Hall of Fame human beings. They're Hall of Fame coaches and GMs. Okay? But I don't understand this. I don't understand how this was handled, because I think the world of both of them. I think they do things the right way, and I don't understand why John Hines was left twisting in the wind, because in my opinion, which is why I kept bringing this stuff up, their mind had been made up, okay? Their mind had been made up, and they were probably going to move on.
This coach has been available.
Yeah,
It's not like he was
New
playing,
Jersey was out in the first round.
Anyway.
Yeah, they were out in the first. So I struggle saying this, but I have to, as you said, we keep it 100% real on this show, and I'm a little perplexed on how this was handled. It's not a great look. It really isn't. Yeah. Because you could have Andrew Burnett. You could have had him. They were done the first round.
Yeah, if you were going to do that.
Well, so what was all this posturing? Was it negotiating behind the scenes? I don't know, maybe. But, I mean, Andrew Burnett, he's original Predator. He's got a history with Barry Trotz. He doesn't have much of a history as a head coach. Like, is it really about all this back and forth with the negotiations of a contract?
I can say more, but we got to go. I can say more about that, but let's go.
Jonah, I'm sorry to Doug and Bob. We're sorry. We got to get to Jeff Forehand. If they will call back, I promise we'll get the calls. I don't want them to sit on hold. We are going to go to Lipscomb next, and then we can get these guys on the other side if they're willing to call back. After,
please do, gentlemen.
Yeah,
because
we do want to hear your feedback.
Please do.
But we'll get to Jeff Forehand and talk about what's going on with that Lipscomb baseball team, and we will do that next here on the Mcfarlands Show.
Anywhere fans go to cheer on their team, there are behind-the-scenes MVPs, ensuring everything is game day ready. We see you, Joe, fixing seats so every fan can enjoy every game. And Allie, who keeps her stadium running smoothly from the moment the first game starts to the last play of the season. At Grainger, you're our MVPs, and we're always here for you with supplies and solutions for every industry and 24/7 customer support. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Nashville, start your engines. The Big Machine Music City Grand Prix is coming to the streets of downtown Nashville. Experience 3 days of racing, music, family fun zone, food trucks, and more. The Big Machine Music City Grand Prix is August 4th through August 6th. From stadium super trucks flying through the air to open wheel IndyCar racing that turns right. The Big Machine Music City Grand Prix has something for every race fan. There's music all day, every day. And don't miss the Friday and Saturday night concert under the stars. And they have rides for the kids provided by Wesley Mortgage. The streets of Music City come alive August 4th through August 6th. The Big Machine Music City Grand Prix. Grab your tickets before they're gone and log on to MusicCityGP.com. The Big Machine Music City Grand Prix. It's more than a race. It's a festival.
It's the McFarland Show with Darren McFarland and Fox 17's Justin McFarland.
Rand Carthen, Tennessee Titans GM, joins the show. Rand, were you among the 70,000 plus that saw Taylor Swift in Nissan Stadium? How was the concert?
I went to the Saturday night show. Easily the best thing I've seen. Now, I went into it, and I was like, I couldn't name a Taylor Swift song, but I was like, I love music enough to know that. I know there were songs that I knew that I didn't know was Taylor Swift. So I'm really there because it's just the way my brain and my eyes work. I'm there looking at the stage production, I would guess to say crazy things like transition from one song to the next, the stage. And so that's the stuff that had me enamored. And it was easily, the best show I've seen. And so Beyonce's going to have to bring it in July.
The McFarland Show with Darren and Justin on Nashville Sports Radio WNSR.
Hello, this is Philip Cox from Strike and Spare Family Entertainment. Are you looking for new and exciting things to do with the family during the spring and summer months? Thanks to Strike and Spare Family Fun Centers, you don't have to look any further. Sign up today for Kids Bowl Free, a summer pass starting in May where kids 15 and under receive 2 free games of bowling every day. You can also purchase a family pass that allows you to join the fun as well. Visit any of the 5 local Strike and Spare locations in Hendersonville, Murfreesboro, Donaldson, Hermitage, and Tusculum to register, or just visit kidsbowlfree.com/Strike and Spare. Strike and Spare, where fun is bowling.
The 2023 season of Atlanta Braves baseball is on, and this squad is fired up to make a run at a 6th straight division crown.
High fly, deep to left, forget about it for Austin Riley. A blast to left.
Catch the 2023 Atlanta Braves right here on Nashville's home for Braves baseball. WNSR, Nashville Sports Radio. You're listening live from the Strike and Spare Studios, downtown Music City. It's the Mcfarlands Show.
Let's head over to the campus of Lipscomb. They're the ASUN champs, and their head coach, Jeff Forehand, now joins us. 16th season as the head coach. Jeff, time flies, I guess, when you're having fun. By the way, thanks for joining us.
Man, thank you guys for having me. You say 16, I thought it was 17. That's good. Maybe I'm younger than I thought it was.
No, is it 17? I don't want to slight you a year. Is it 17?
No. I don't know, man.
Yeah, I think you're right. No,
16.
actually, you're right.
I think you're younger.
17 seasons. You're right, Coach. Right. Well, this is not a good start by me. That was an error. Error on the host.
That's good. I mean, you're making me feel good. I'm young here.
I mean, I feel like I remember the day you were hired at Lipscomb. I can't believe it's been 17 years. What a journey it's been.
And I know it seems like it just seems like it was yesterday. Me and my wife talk about it all the time. It's gone so fast. But, at this point, everything's fun right now, man. How about that?
No doubt about it. And so a baseball season is a journey too, right? And it's got ebbs and flows, and it's long, and man, this has been that type of season for you guys, right? And then you get out of the gates a little sluggish in your conference tournament, and then you kick it in gear and take care of business the rest of the way to win the championship.
Yeah, man, it's just our season started. We started slow. We opened up good. We started, we went into the whole thing with trying to just improve our RPI and trying to get us in a position to where you get to the conference tournament and you don't have to win it. But we took a few on the chin at we got beat at Auburn twice late, had leads going into the late innings, got beat at Mississippi State 3 times, and we dropped 11 in a row, and it was playing good teams, but still it was you don't get any credit no matter if you're playing good teams or bad teams. You gotta come out at the end of that with some W's, and we weren't doing that, and I just felt like I look back on it now, and the plan was to maybe sneak a couple of those games, and maybe that helps the RPI creep up a little bit. But I think the one thing it did do for us, it just prepared us for some of that adversity that we faced early in the tournament, and we were able to to bounce back.
There were a couple wins, Jeff, that really jumped out at me. Louisville is always good, right? And
yep.
Arkansas this year has been unbelievable, and they're always good too, right? For your program to go there and get those wins, what did that mean to your team, and what did that tell you, the head coach, about wins like that?
I think in college baseball, we if you ask any coach, anytime you get a win in Division I baseball, it's a good win.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter who you're playing. But when we like I said, we scheduled those Power Fives just to try to get that RPI in a better position. And we took it on the chin, like I said, more times than not. But then we did. But the win at Louisville was good. And the win at Arkansas, we played them at the Pro Park in Little Rock. And it was probably the best environment that I've been in 31 years of coaching. I mean, there was 10,000 people calling the Hogs, and it was a great environment. And we got behind early and we came back, and it was just a really good game for us. So, and a good win, a good resume win as far as trying to help that RPI some, because we know how good Arkansas is.
What do you like about this team, Coach?
I like their experience. They're veterans. We've had some guys that have bounced around a little bit, and we and some of these guys found Lipscomb. They found us. Some of it we found them, and the collection of people that are here have been junior college guy or a transfer portal guy. and just some guys that have had, had some ups and downs at other places that have found a home here. And I really just feel like that, some of them didn't even know what Lipscomb was, when we were recruiting them, last summer. And, for it all just to come together for them, to found a home. And it's just a collection of guys that are just hard workers and got that will to win.
Lipscomb baseball coach Jeff Forehand on the line with us here on the Mcfarlands Show. I've already goofed one stat, so if I'm wrong again, feel free to correct me.
You didn't goof it because I don't know. I never know myself. I have to count it on my fingers. I'm not even sure. You might be right.
I think
you might be right.
I think this is the first time you've been back in this spot since 2015. Did I get that one right, or did I mess that one up?
Sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
15.
What did you learn then? I know you got a whole different set of players, but what did you learn through that experience that you're able to try to help navigate these guys in these waters that you're about to face starting Friday?
That it's just another game. It's just another another setup. And again, back then we didn't play the schedule that we've played this year.
Right.
And
okay.
We've been in that environment. We played. I think we had 16 games. 16 Power 5 games, and so that's that wasn't happening in 2015. So I think some of the awe. We were kind of starstruck a little bit. Maybe we went to Vanderbilt in 15, and we know how good they were, and we had beaten them once during the season that year. And then I think we woke them up a little bit, and then they were really good in the tournament. But I just think that telling these guys and that the experience that we have, I think they understand that it is another game, that we do belong, and we know what we're going up against. I mean, we're going up against a team I think that's won 16 or 17 in a row and ACC champions, and our expectations were we were going to go back to Vandy, so we were prepared to go play. If you're going to get your mind prepared to go play Vandy, there's just not that much difference between Vandy and Clemson. They're similar teams when you look at where they are in the rankings and what they've done during the season. So I think the one thing that I've learned is just that you got to go in and just it's just another game, and you're prepared for it, and just try to execute the things we worked on since they got back to school in September.
Coach, how much will have playing these other bigger conferences you think help out with your guys when you play a Clemson or something like that, being that you've already played SEC schools, and I know Clemson's an ACC school, I get it, but what is how does that help you, the earlier experience playing some of the bigger schools?
I think just that like I said, when the crowd at the Pro Park in Arkansas when we played in Little Rock, it was a crowd that's going to be similar to what's going to be this weekend with. The majority of the fans are going to be Clemson fans, and when we were there, the majority of the all the fans were Razorback fans. And so I think that's we've been in those venues and we've been in that environment a little bit. So I don't think that's going to be shocking, and because that's what our whole thing was all year. We're just we want to be playing in June, and you've got to play in June. You got to be able to play in those environments, and that was one of the things that. My assistant coach Brian Rahman and I, when we were making the schedule, we just decided we gotta do it. I mean, we went to Louisville in the middle of the week, we went to Georgia Tech in the middle of the week, we went to Arkansas in the middle of the week, and Tennessee and Vandy in the middle of the week, Notre Dame for 3, Auburn for 3, and Mississippi State for 3. Mississippi State, there's no environment better than that. Auburn had a great crowd. I mean, it was just the environment that you get yourself set up in is we wanted to get that similar to what the regional was going to look like. So I think we were able to accomplish that with the schedule.
I have asked some of the head coaches of MTSU and Belmont this question, and I'm interested in yours. How has NIL and the transfer portal affected your particular job and your particular sport? We hear about it so much on, especially in college football and college basketball, but it was for everybody, including your sport as well. How has it affected you?
It has affected us all, and it is a whole nother dimension to the recruiting. And, fortunately for us over here, we're not involved with the NIL. I mean, we don't have any student athletes here that, we don't have that collective that's that's paying them. We had great success. The first year was the portal. That was before the NIL came into play. We had great success then. Last year we had adequate success with the portal, but now guys that are transferring from mid-major schools that may be looking for as soon as they transfer out, they are Power 5 schools are lapping them up because there's just some dollars involved. So again, it's gotten a little bit harder, but there's so many good players out there, and where what it's hurt though, it's hurt the freshmen coming in for us because we bring the freshmen in, and the freshman's got to develop, most likely because we got some older guys ahead of him, but then when, kids these days, they're in that mentality of, I want to play right now. And then when they don't play as much as they, were expecting, then they leave. And then, the other hand, if they come in and they're really good, now they got the opportunity to go, somebody's going to pay them and they're going to go out. It's almost like, when the Twins develop a good player, the Yankees and the Dodgers are going to lap them up, and be able to pay them. So it's kind of it's a double-edged sword because it has been really good for us because we've gotten some, I just looked through, our lineup, and just about every player in our lineup has been either a junior college transfer or a transfer portal guy.
Wow.
And a guy that, a couple guys that have been around for a couple years, and then some guys that we brought in, this year that, just some guys that just were floating under the radar that we recognize as good players. And, my assistant coaches do such a great job. Matt Myers developing the pitching he's done unbelievable with those guys. And then Adam Wise, our hitting guy, he just has done a great job with the hitters. So I think that's one thing we're selling, when we do have a guy coming in the transfer portal, hey, if this is what you want, this is what we got, this is what we're training, and hopefully you can, come over here and develop what you want to be because, we've got all the analytical stuff. We've got the TrackMan, this energy. We've got everything that hitters need as far as when we train them. If that's the route you want to go. Heck, I'm an old school guy, and I'm trying my best to keep up with the times and learn all that stuff. And but some of us guys that have been around for a while, your eyes tell you a lot. And I think some guys that like the old school training, we can give it to them that way, and guys that like the new school training, we can give it that way too. So I think our development has been the biggest piece to our success is when guys come in here, they're getting better, and we are making some strides. So hopefully this run will help us even more, as the portal turns over here. Actually, it goes wide open tomorrow, I think.
Wow. Okay. So, Coach, last but not least for me, I found it interesting that you said that some of the guys you've been able to go and find, as far as players are concerned, other guys have found you. I'm curious about the guys who have found you to a certain extent. What do most of your new guys think, or what have they heard about Lipscomb and Nashville before they get here, and then how does that answer, I imagine, change pretty quickly? I would imagine a lot of guys maybe just haven't heard a whole lot about Lipscomb and haven't heard a whole lot about Nashville.
No, I mean they everybody likes Nashville, but you don't know a lot about Lipscomb, and then you come over here and it's like, man, well, that's a pretty cool place to play ball, and they got a pretty nice setup, and and then and then the school, and I think just just some of the things that we talk about during the recruiting process about, and I don't want to get into all of the things that we talk about, but I think some guys are leaving places in search of something else, and I think whether that's, and that might not even be development on the field. It might just be a rapport with a smaller school with a rapport with the professors, or a smaller school that with the coaches are more hands-on. I don't know what it might be, but I think sometimes when they hear what we got going on, it's interesting to them. And again, we don't get them all. But some of these guys, and I think we have some things that, especially some of these guys that are transferring from bigger places and even junior colleges, because junior colleges, hey, I mean, I cut my teeth in the NAIA, and not that Lipscomb has all the money in the world, but we're not the New York Yankees. But boy, if you see what we used to operate on when I was at Tribeca, and what some of these junior colleges operate on, and they come here, it's like, wow, well, that's eye-opening. We've got, like I said, we got everything here to help you develop, and Philip Hutchinson and our athletic department allow us to do it the right way, and I think they see a genuine interest in doing it that way. And then also, there's there's a faith piece and some kids that come into Lipscomb and that are interested in that. And again, not all our players, nobody is when you come to Lipscomb, nobody is forcing that part down your throat, but it is there if it's something you enjoy, and it's something that I've done, for my 31-year career. I've been in private school education, and the opportunity for me to have that component, as part of all my teams has been really cool. And I think that some of these kids are looking for some of that, and they're also looking for, just a change and an environment where they know people when they get over here that, everybody at Lipscomb cares about me, and they want me to be they want me to be a better accountant if I'm an accounting major. They want me to be a better engineer if I'm an engineering major. And, you come into the office and the athletic director, the volleyball coach, the basketball coach, and, everybody's for you. So whatever it might be, I think this one's got its positives for some people. And again, for some people, it might be some negatives. But again, those are the people that, that I've learned over the years that, not that we don't want, but Lipscomb's not for everybody. And my hair used to get on fire when we'd move to recruit. But at the end of the day, the good Lord's going to put you where you're supposed to be. And if it's at Lipscomb, some of these kids, I was telling one of the kids' parents this weekend, he came, it was middle of August. His dad flew him in. They both flew in, and it was middle of August, and he had to be here on Wednesday. He flew in on Monday, flew out on Monday night on his own dime, said he was going to come to school here, got home, drove back on Tuesday, drove all day on Tuesday from Texas, and he was in school, and he met us for one day. And now he's having a great season. He's been our second baseman for most of the year. Now he's DHing at the end, and, just, crazy. He decided to come on a whim, and it's just, I think he liked what he heard and liked what he saw when he got here. So, it worked out great for him. But those are the stories that are great for me.
That's outstanding. Coach, great to talk to you. Thanks so much for doing this. Best of luck in this regional at Clemson. We'll certainly be watching and talking about your game and giving everybody updates on Friday's show. I know you guys get started at noon our time. It'll be 1 o'clock there, noon here in Nashville. So, Jeff, thanks for doing this. Best of luck, and we'll talk to you down the road.
Wow, you guys are awesome for having me. I really appreciate it. I'm humbled to be on with you guys. You guys do an awesome job for us all in this area, and we're grateful for what you guys do. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, Coach.
That is Jeff Forehand. He is the Lipscomb baseball coach, and they are headed to Clemson to take on the 1 seed there on Friday at noon. Tennessee and Charlotte will be the nightcap in Clemson. So you've got the Vols and Charlotte in the second game. Clemson, the host, taking on Lipscomb on Friday. Like I said, we'll give everybody updates on our show on Friday of what's going on with Lipscomb against Clemson. We'll take a break. We'll come back with more. 615-844-5600 is our number, and how you can get in touch with us. That's our phone line and our text line. More of the Mcfarlands Show next here on WNSR.
Located at 5410 Murfreesboro Road in the heart of Laverne, City Slickers is one-stop shopping for all your liquor, beer, and wine needs, and has been a multiple winner annually in the Best of Rutherford County voting for Best Liquor Store and Top Wine Shop. Featuring the lowest prices, the best customer service with unsurpassed knowledge, City Slickers offers the largest craft beer selection in Rutherford and southeastern Davidson counties, and has beer on tap at its Growler filling station. City Slickers also sells mixers, sodas, snacks, tobacco products, and the Tennessee Lottery, and can place special orders and assist with all your events and even wedding planning. Make sure you follow City Slickers on all their social media, or just give them a call at 615-280-7469. That's 615-280-7469. Located in the heart of Laverne, City Slickers.
There's a weekend in July where the baseball world revolves around a village in upstate New York. Baseball Hall of Fame induction weekend in Cooperstown is an unforgettable experience filled with family-friendly activities and priceless moments. Make your plans today for July 21st through the 24th for the induction of Fred McGriff and Scott Rowland as the class of 2023. Visit baseballhall.org today for the entire schedule. See you in Cooperstown, where the journey becomes legend.
Do you hear that? Asthma triggers are everywhere, from dust mites, pet dander, and pollen, to smog and smoke. An asthma attack can strike anywhere, anytime. Be prepared with quick-acting Primatene Mist. Clinically proven to open airways quickly. It's the #1 FDA-approved asthma inhaler available over the counter. Primatene Mist. Breathe easy again. Use as directed.
Today on Hey Culligan's Smart Home, Smarter Water Softener. Here's Kevin.
Hey Culligan, can a smart water softener lift those heavy salt bags for me?
Kevin, it can.
Wait, it can?
Yep, the smart high-efficiency water softener from Culligan can alert your dealer when the salt needs to be replaced, and they'll do it for you, so your water stays soft and you stay away from lifting the bags.
I mean, I could lift them if I wanted.
No judgment here, Kevin. We're happy to do it, and we're already on the way. Let us help you out with a free in-home water test with the local Culligan water expert at Culligan.com.
Golfers, swing into Edwin Watts Golf Shops. We've been serving golfers since 1968. Let us help you find the hottest gear from bags, balls, shoes, and apparel. All in stock at the best prices. Come in and test drive the latest arrivals from Titleist, TaylorMade, Callaway, Ping, and more. While you're there, get custom fit by one of our golf experts. Edwin Watts Golf Shops, home of the 90-day satisfaction guarantee. Shop us in store or online at EdwinWattsGolfShops.com.
Sports fans, listen to Youth Connect on Monday nights at 6 and hear me, Seagull Boys basketball coach Matt Rigsby and Darren Mcfarlands.
Hey, listen to Youth Connect on Monday nights from 6 until 7 o'clock as we highlight high-level trainers, coaches, and players in and around Middle Tennessee. Give us a call at 615-844-5600. We live video stream all of our shows on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch.
And hear me, Seagull Boys basketball coach Matt Rigsby.
And hear me, Darren McFarland, live on WNSR, Nashville Sports Radio.
The Mcfarlands Show. Video streaming live on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube from the Strike and Spare studio.
Looks like the Titans' first-round pick, Peter Skoronski, has inked a new rookie deal.
Mm-hmm.
So he's agreed to terms on a contract. Also, defensive lineman Jaleel Johnson also inks a new deal with the Titans. So a couple signings there by Rand Carthon and the Titans. 615-844-5600 is our phone line and our text line. John Hines is out as Predators head coach. Andrew Burnett has been hired as the next head coach of the Predators. Of course, that will be the first hire under soon-to-be permanent general manager Barry Trotz. But this is Barry Trotz. This is his
move.
This is his move.
Yeah, this is
his play.
Yeah.
All right, speaking of phone lines, let's go to him. Kenny the mailman wants to weigh in. Kenny, what's up?
Good afternoon, good friends.
How you doing?
Hey, Kenny.
Doing excellent. As long as it didn't snow and I'm in a good mood.
Oh, good. Yeah.
I'm a true Southerner.
Won't have to worry about that.
Nope.
I need help from y'all. Are y'all willing to give me a little help?
We'll try. Sure.
Darren, especially you. If there's any way you could text Terry Crisp, I would love for you to do that. Did you realize Sunday was his 80th birthday?
Yes. Pete Weber filled in on Friday afternoon. Justin was out of town, and Pete Weber sat in here with me on Friday and told me.
Y'all had Pete Weber in here?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Pete Weber did the show with me on Friday.
I will go back and listen to that.
Terry Crisp is celebrating his 80th birthday this weekend, which was last weekend.
Yeah, I just want, when the Predators hired him, they needed an announcer. But this city needed far more. They needed a hockey professor, a hockey ambassador, almost a Pied Piper. And I think he actually turned into the Harry Carey of Nashville for what he meant to this city. He's far more than just, when you say hockey, he was worth far more to this city than a hockey announcer. And I think he probably knows how much he means to us, but I would really, really like for him to know that. So I just thought it was great he had a birthday.
Well, I think considering, what they've done, we've got Pete and Terry's Tavern there, what they did for Crispy this season, I think him and Sheila know exactly how important they are and what they've meant to this market for almost 25 years now. And I got nothing else to add, Kenny, because you're spot on. If they don't make that hire, which Jerry Helper was a big part of all that, if that is not Terry Crisp, and it's somebody else that, let's just say, comes in and does a good job, but they don't have that personality and the makeup that Terry Crisp has and has had this whole time. And he's responsible for teaching so many people in this market how to, about the game and bringing them into the game and helping them fall in love with the game. Who knows? Maybe this market would be a little bit different towards the sport. He's a big part of it.
He taught, sold tickets. I wouldn't have been surprised if he didn't hop on that Zamboni a couple of turns, but he did everything he could. By the way, over the weekend, did you hear the Minnesota Twins manager actually announced that his wife is going to have twins? Is his name Rocco Baldelli?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. His wife's going to have twins, and she responded she was just glad he didn't work for the Giants. I meant that the good way.
Rim
Listen.
shot.
My
Kenny
best
the
to y'all.
Mailman, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Kenny. Well done. All right, let's go back to, we were hot and heavy in a discussion before we had to step away and talk with Jeff Forehand. We do appreciate him joining us.
We do.
But you said you were surprised at what I said.
I am.
Why did that surprise you?
Let me tell you why it surprised you. And for those of you who weren't with us, of course, the Predators have made a change at head coach that we've been speaking about. Andrew Brunette's going to be the brand new head coach. John Hines is out. I asked Darren, who I know personally has been associated with the Nashville Predators now across it's hard to think about, 4 different decades. You have been associated with this hockey team in some way, shape, or form. I'm asking you, sir, were you surprised? Are you surprised that the Predators made the move to announce that they were releasing their head coach and that they have hired a new one all in the same sweep? Which means I find it impossible to believe that they fired John Hines and then hired Andrew Brunette today. That didn't happen today. They're announcing it today. They made this move several weeks or who knows how long ago. I'm asking you, were you surprised that they didn't make the announcement that they fired their head coach and they were looking for a new one? That is not what they did. They fired their head coach and they hired a new one without basically telling anyone until, the last 24 hours. I was surprised that you said, I don't know what's going on here. I don't understand how this is handled. That surprised me because it is.
Don't you have the same thoughts?
Yes, but I thought maybe there was something maybe I didn't know. And that's why I was asking you, because listen, you're much closer to the organization than I am. And that's why I was asking you, because this does not seem to be the normal process of the Nashville Predators organization that I have known over the last, same 4 different decades, but, 20,
it's not like
23
they've done
years.
This much.
No, and they have not. And you're right. They have not done this much. But in previous stops, typically, and the way this can work, you announce that you're firing someone, you conduct a press conference, we've let this person go, we're going to be conducting a search to try to find the next person. Seldom does this happen, where not only are we firing the head coach, we've already got the replacement and they're ready to go. What?
Again.
What?
I'll say, going back to what we led this hour off with, I have, and anybody listening that's heard me over the years, they know I have immense amount of respect for Barry Trotz and David Poile. They're Hall of Fame coaches and general managers. I mean, they're in tons of Hall of Fames. There's all kinds of Hall of Fames. David Poile's in USA Hockey. I mean, they're tons and tons.
Yeah.
They're also Hall of Fame human beings. They are. I'm perplexed at how this was handled. I mean, you should have been picking up the hints when I was talking about it, because I kept bringing it up going,
you did keep bringing it up.
It doesn't make sense to me. Like this isn't like it's not passing the smell test. It doesn't make sense. And it because it didn't. And it felt like, everybody's going, yeah, John Hines is going to be back. And I'm like, really? But what is that based on?
I felt that way.
What is everybody basing this off of?
It was based on the fact that the things they were saying about him at the season-ending press conference. And again, this is my thing. If this is Barry, and all these questions will be answered at some point, I guess. But
no, they're going to talk. My guess is they'll probably talk tomorrow. Will be my guess.
If Barry Trotz felt like John Hines wasn't the guy, Well, he didn't just get to the organization the other day. He's been there for the last several months. They've been on road trips together. They've spent long nights talking, I imagine, and the hockey philosophy. When did he make this decision? And if he made the decision, then why didn't he just say so? Why bring the man to the ending of the press conference if he made the decision back before the season ended that this was going to be his guy? Because again, Andrew Brunette has been out here. He is not someone's head coach. He's been the assistant coach of another team. If you really wanted him that bad,
that lost in the first round.
If you really wanted him that bad,
we're in the Stanley Cup final.
Okay, if you really wanted him that bad, I'm just saying. Then what is all this about?
The reason I kept bringing this stuff up, Justin, is because, yes, the announcement, with Barry. How long has Barry Trotz been in this interim role?
A few months.
Few months. Didn't he go on their longest road trip of the year?
Yeah, he did.
Spend a lot of time evaluating.
As a matter of fact, it was the fall. Was it before the new year? After the new year?
It was, I think, February.
February,
I want to say.
All right.
Because the trading deadline,
that's true.
None of that
that's
stuff
true.
had happened.
There you go.
I think it was February.
Okay.
They still had a good portion of the season to go.
This team could have made the playoffs.
He was around on a daily basis. He was going on road trips with them. The point of this is Barry Trotz is a smart man. He knows hockey through and through.
Sure.
And I know how this stuff works. You're not still evaluating. You know. And that's why I'm confused on why they decided. Again, I don't know why. They have reason. I know they have a reason. I just don't know what it is. It doesn't make sense when and I understand why people immediately assumed, which is a dangerous word.
Yeah.
That, John Hines is at this press conference, then he must be the head coach moving forward. He's coming back.
No, hold on.
I get it.
It's not just he was at the press conference. They were talking very highly about him at said press conference and were saying likable things about him. It's not like he was just there shoved into a corner and they barely acknowledged him.
Yeah.
No, they praised him, as a matter of fact, if memory serves, about the things that he was able to do. So this is not, so that's why this is kind of out of left field for some people, for me at least.
But that's what I don't understand.
People.
I don't know why so I'm willing to go along with that until I was at the press conference and I sat there and I watched Barry Trotz and David Boyle answer the questions. And when Barry Trotz at the end of the presser, and I think it was Gentry Estes, I asked the very last question, which ironically was about Mark Borowiecki's future.
Okay.
What he intends on doing.
That's been figured out.
We have figured that out. It was the question, I think, before mine, and I think it was Gentry Estes, and he asked again about John Hines' future, and that's when Barry Trotz chose to say nice things. He's under contract. We get it. That's true. But we're going to evaluate him just like everybody else. And I'm like, you're going to evaluate John Hines. You've been doing that since February. You've been evaluating him for months.
I see.
What is there left
so in
to
your
evaluate?
Mind, and let me translate for everybody. So in your mind, Darren, what he's saying is when you said he's been on the job this long, and the fact that they're still doing an evaluation after being on the job this long means that there is still some very unsettled things in their mind, which made you think that maybe, just maybe, that this guy was not going to be back, that John Hines was not going to be back, because if he was going to be back, why wouldn't he just go ahead and say so?
I know how evaluations work, and when you're as smart as Barry Trotz on the game, and you've been a head coach for 25 years.
Long time.
He's going in the Hall of Fame.
He is.
You know whether the guy is your guy or not. You don't. And you certainly can figure that out in months. And so that's where I'm completely confused of why they chose to trot him out for that press conference and have all this stuff that we've talked about.
Yeah.
When you with all due respect, they knew.
Okay.
They knew, Justin.
Okay.
Like, you know.
Okay.
You were not still evaluating. You know.
Yeah.
Like, once the season was over, you didn't make up your mind then for the next 5 weeks, and they came to the conclusion today or several days ago or a week ago.
Yeah.
No.
Whenever.
No.
Because none of this happened today or yesterday.
So You asked me to answer a good question honestly. And I've sat here and told you and everybody listening, I am absolutely perplexed at how this was handled. It doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't, especially considering the people that we're talking about.
Yeah. It's unlike them.
Well-respected, highly considerate,
uncharacteristic.
do things the right way. Yes, it's out of character. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Which makes me think maybe there's something, and I hate all this, just me and my nature and the other jobs I've had. I all this unanswered, speculation here is tough, but it makes me feel like, well, what else was there? Was there a dispute over an assistant like we've had over on the other building in this town that has a professional team at one point? We want to retain you, but the assistants have to go. Oh no, I can't do that. Oh, okay, well that's how you feel. Then all y'all can go. I mean, was that the way it happened? I mean, because it's just peculiar.
We'll come back and put a bow on Tuesday's edition of the Mcfarlands Show next.
Attention high school sports fans, are you an armchair official? You know, the parent or fan who constantly yells at the referees and loves to let everyone know just how bad you think they are. Well, if you think you could do better, then get in the game and prove it. It's time for you to suit up and make the calls where they actually count. Every sport in Tennessee needs more officials. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Hey, I'm Andy. If you don't know me, it's probably because I'm not famous. But I did start a men's grooming company called Harry's. The idea for Harry's came out of a frustrating experience I had buying razor blades. Most brands were overpriced, overdesigned, and out of touch. At Harry's, our approach is simple. Here's our secret. We make sharp, durable blades and sell them at honest prices for as low as $2 each. We care about quality so much that we do some crazy things, like buy a world-class German blade factory. Obsessing over every detail means we're confident in offering a 100% quality guarantee. Millions of guys have already made the switch to Harry's, so thank you if you're one of them. And if you're not, we hope you can give us a try with this special offer. Get a Harry's starter set with a 5-blade razor, weighted handle, shave gel, and a travel cover, all for just $3 plus free shipping. Just go to harrys.com and enter code FOOTBALL at checkout. That's harrys.com, code FOOTBALL. Enjoy.
Breaking news.
Tax refund shock is everywhere, but what is it?
My tax refund shrank.
Mine too. The culprit? Pandemic-related stimulus payments and tax credits expiring. In this reporter's opinion, you need a tax expert.
Hey guys, Jackson Hewitt guarantees your biggest refund.
And tax prep is 50% off? Going there now.
50% off is a limited-time offer for new clients filing at participating locations. Max value $200. Visit jacksonhewitt.com/50 for terms.
Today on Hey Culligan, how smart is your water? Here's Tracy.
Hey Culligan, I think my water might be dumb.
Good news, Tracy. Your water's not dumb. It's just not talking to you.
You can make my water talk.
No, but the new Culligan Smart Drinking Water System can talk to your phone to tell you when your water filters need changing and help you meet drinking water goals.
Now that's some brilliant H2O.
You said it, Tracy, and we're already on the way. Let us help you out with a free in-home water test with the local Culligan water expert at Culligan.com.
All new spring deals are here at Lowe's. Start planting your garden this weekend with Bonnie 11.8-ounce vegetables. Buy 4 for $10. Plus, liven up your patios and decks with fresh blooms. Select 1.5-gallon hanging baskets or 2 for $16. Lowe's knows spring. Lowe's knows home improvement. Offers valid through 5/17. In-store only. Actual plant size and selection varies by location. While supplies last, excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
This is the Greg Vogue and John Burton Show.
The New York Knicks. We are the New York Knicks. We are the New York Knicks. We are the New York Knicks. Go New York, go.
Oh, you're not doing a rap part?
I don't know how to rap, but John, look at me. I mean, do I look like I'm in the studio with you? I mean, come on.
Greg Vogue and News Channel 5's John Burton, WNSR, Nashville Sports Radio.
Give us a call, 615-844-5600. The Mcfarlands Show with Darren and Justin.
spirited show today. Lots to talk about. No drama last night at all, unfortunately. Vegas went into Dallas and just opened up a can of whoop.
Yeah.
Beat them 6-0. So it's going to be Vegas in Florida. You flew into the Fort Lauderdale airport, which I've done many, many times. Actually, it's nice, way nicer than Miami. Way nicer.
Yeah, okay, I can see that. Yeah,
Miami's airport is a dump.
It's big.
It's a
huge
dump. For a city that nice and that
massive.
big.
That MIA airport is massive.
I can't believe. It's like, when's the last time you guys put a dime into this airport? Fort Lauderdale's way nicer. Anyway, I digress. But Florida and Vegas are in the Stanley Cup final.
Yeah.
Jeez.
They're feeling the pride down there.
The Heat are cruising.
Yeah.
They're up 3-0. They lose the next 3.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden it's Game 7 in Boston, and everybody had the Celtics in the NBA championship game playing the Denver Nuggets. Whoops.
Blew them out.
Miami led the whole way.
Did they have Jason Tatum?
Well, he got hurt. That's
hurt.
The part that,
you know.
He got hurt in the first quarter, very early on.
First play.
Yeah.
First
it was very
offensive
early.
play.
So he was definitely hobbled.
14 points.
They couldn't hit a 3 to save their life.
21% from 3.
It was worse than that at times. It was bad.
Yeah.
Miami was hitting a lot of 3s, so it'll be Miami and Denver. So the two Miami/Southern Florida teams.
Yeah.
Because
technically.
Yeah. Miami plays in Miami and the Florida Panthers play in Sunrise, so which is actually closer to Fort Lauderdale than Miami.
Okay.
But anyway, those two teams in the same market area,
Yeah.
both put out the Boston teams. How about that?
Wow.
The Florida Panthers put out the Bruins in the first round.
Man.
And the Heat put out the Celtics.
And what's great, there's a lot of people who go down to Florida for vacation from the Boston area, and they may be going less this year because they're not going to want to see all that down there. But it's going to happen. NBA Finals taking place June the 1st. So we'll see what takes place. Going to be interesting. Going to be interesting. A lot of people picking Denver in 5. We'll see. I don't know.
Hey, they've been picking against Miami the entire way.
Yeah.
So all they've done is
Miami. I ain't scared. Like what happened? And what? And so what?
Right. The Heat are like, oh, you're picking against us? Wow.
Big
Shocking.
whoop-de-doo.
Shocking.
You don't believe in us? Yeah. Neither did anybody else. They're at home.
We'll see the next time when the Predators talk and make all this official that we talked about today. I suspect there's a chance tomorrow, or at least the next 24, 48 hours, I suspect they'll be talking. Have a great rest of your Tuesday. It's good to be back in the saddle again. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Abbreviated show because of the Braves.
Somewhat.
Full show on Thursday. We'll see you then.
On air and online, Sports Radio WNSR, Brentwood, Nashville.
Vacation, and do you remember our headphones were shaggy? I'm just curious. Are you keep classified now? What just happened?
Oh, we caught on the live stream. Great. I'm like literally crying.
It looks like you're putting on your headphones and one foot on your ear and hitting in your face. Are you okay?
No, my eye was like hearing something. My son put this bad. We'll find it and we'll put it out on
Oh, no. Is it going to be too risky to go to Black Adam or everyone's going to think you're making it? I was trying to put on my headphones.
Yeah, right. It's a bad excuse. Like something's going on at home. I don't know. It's fine.
Luckily, we have it on the live stream, so we don't have to worry about it.
My eyes, it's pretty bad, right?